As ready as I can be. Hello,
I was born
everyone.
ready.
I was born ready.
Born ready. Hello,
I've been
hello.
watching way too much RuPaul.
That's what we'll be quoting. Hello, welcome to this webinar. 10 to 13?
8 to 10.
Sorry, 8 to 10. Stay here. Don't panic. 8 to 10.
Stay here. Don't go away.
There we go. A restaurant review. I have soft R's, so I find that quite hard to say. A restaurant review.
A restaurant review. What do you mean your R's are soft?
You know, when we say soft, I don't know what you say. As in, you can't. The R's are soft. They're not sounded properly. Like a red robin rode redly. It becomes more wa.
Oh, for you. Okay.
A restaurant review. Obviously, that's extreme. But
a red robin.
A red robin rode redly.
A red robin.
A red robin rode redly, but they're a bit soft.
Rode what?
Rode readily.
Readily. Okay, a red robin rode readily.
Perfect. A red robin rode readily.
On it.
It's not so bad in my English, but learning Italian is very difficult. Or by now I've just accepted that I won't be able to say certain things properly.
There's a really fun Italian tongue twister for R's, and it's like
I don't want to know because that's my worst nightmare. I actively avoid using certain words because I can't pronounce them.
It talks about like 33 tigers. It's something about tigers. Tre tigre, something So you're like tra 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 tra. It's hard. But I love tongue twisters. I would like to learn more Italian ones. I like my favorite English one is Betty Botter. Do you know Betty Botter?
Betty bought a bit of butter, but the butter bit her. So Betty bought a better bit of butter. So better butter wouldn't. But I don't remember the end.
No, you're right. It was like Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. So she bought a bit of better butter, put it in her bitter batter. And I used to know the whole entire thing.
How long is it?
It's quite long. Like there's maybe like 2 or 3 more sentences after what I just did.
Okay.
So it was better. Betty Botter bought a bit of better butter, put it in her bitter batter. Something like there's something twas. It was. Twas better. Betty Botter bought a bit of better butter. Anyways.
Hello. If you know any English tongue twisters, tell us. Tongue twisters.
Yeah. I'll put that. Do you know any English tongue
twisters? Hey guys.
Here they come in. Hi, Raimondo. I know Raimondo. Raimondo's a dancer. That's his hobby. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Maria Pia, hi. And hey, hi. Filippo from Rimini, nice.
From Rimini.
We were just talking about tongue twisters. If you know any. There we go. Oh gosh.
No, Filippo, I'm thinking the one with tre tigre. Something tre tigre. Something with tigers.
Well, whatever it is, it's not good news for me. It's not good news. For me.
I don't think I can read this.
Of these soft R's.
33 Trentini.
I was just gonna try it.
Entrarono. What? A Trento tutti a 33 trotterellando. No, I don't know that one. Something with
the classic in English is she sells sheep. Oh.
Sally.
She sells seashells.
Sally sells seashells
in the UK. Not
really?
Sally.
We say Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
She sells. Oh, I can't do it. She
sells seashells by the seashore.
Right, there we go. She sells seashells by the seashore.
Really? You say she? I say Sally.
Who's Sally?
Sally or she sells seashells by the seashore. We'll put it up for everyone. She sells seashells by the seashore.
Yeah, not easy.
Or there's the How much wood does a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? That was easy, I think. Or Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper.
Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper.
Hal's not good at tongue twisters.
A, I'm not good at them. B, I can't say my R's. Really, I have no right to be teaching, talking. Just avoid language. She sells seashells. I did it. There we go.
There you go.
So today we got talking about this because today we're doing restaurant reviews. I was saying I have soft R's, so it sounds more like restaurant reviews. Not really. And we have a question for you guys.
That's more related to restaurants.
Related. What is the strangest thing you have ever eaten?
Hal, did you think of an answer for this?
Yeah, and it's quite
I'm gonna find a picture.
boring, I think. But when I was little, I used to eat ants sometimes. When I was really like a kid, like 7 or 8, I don't remember, but we used to squash them. We used to squash them and then eat them. I remember doing that. So probably ants.
Did you eat glue too? Were you one of the kids that ate glue?
No. I don't know why the ant thing. And also, I say that I didn't do that for like years and years and years. I just definitely know that I did do that at some point. I can't really remember when I was little.
It was what the cool kids were doing.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to start some kind of. Actually, you know what? I think the European Union just legalized eating live insects in certain contexts. There was a legal thing recently, so I was actually ahead of the trend. I was a trendsetter. Anyone else out there eat bugs?
Eat bugs?
When they were little kids?
Hi, Luigi. Oh my God.
Your one's good though.
You're cracking me up. Well,
what about you? Your one is really crazy.
Yeah, my strange food, and I'm going to change the view, is I've tried ostrich. That's the strangest thing I've ever eaten.
What did it taste like?
So the meat is brown, like beef.
Okay. Okay, interesting.
And I don't think the place cooked it the best way. I think it would be really similar to like deer.
Venison. Okay. I can't really. I don't eat meat, and I haven't eaten venison for like years. So yeah, but that's quite tough, right? It's quite tough meat, not like.
I mean, if you cook it right, it can be really tender, really nice. But I think they overcooked it, so it was really like chewy.
Okay.
It could make a really nice jerky, I would think. Ostrich jerky.
The right texture.
Yeah, but let's see, Luigi.
The strangest thing I ate was a fried jellyfish in China when you went there in 2013. Yeah, I was in China 2 years ago, and there was some incredibly unusual food on offer.
Okay, fried jellyfish.
Not
what
ants,
did it taste like?
I didn't tuck in. Yeah, what did it taste like, Luigi? What did it taste like? I imagine the texture. And when we say texture with food, you guys know we're talking about like how it feels in your mouth.
Yeah.
Not the taste, but the kind of the material, almost the texture of something. I imagine the texture of jellyfish would be very, very unpleasant, slimy.
But if it's fried, was it like calamari almost?
Yeah. But even then, the meat can still be kind of rubbery, you know?
True. I don't know. Filippo, this is one of the strangest things I've ever eaten is topinambar. What's that?
I'm looking it up.
Topinambar? It's a root vegetable. Jerusalem artichoke.
That's what I've got as well.
What is it?
Cool.
Okay. I've never heard of it.
Was it nice?
Was it good?
That sounds lovely. I mean, I like artichokes, so
But it's like
Let me see.
did I say Jerusalem artichoke? But it doesn't look like that. It looks like
it looks kind of like a ginger root or something.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
How do I cook it?
Yeah. What do you do with it? It looks like a ginger root.
What do you do with it? Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Right. Anyone else? Oh, he did. Oh, ooh, okay. Luigi. No, it was crunchy, but without flavor. I tasted, not I felt, I tasted only the soy sauce.
I'm glad it was crunchy. I was worried that it would be slippery and slimy. Yeah, it
Doesn't sound too
tasted
bad for me.
specific.
Yeah.
No, it sounds all right. I like soy sauce. I don't like topinambar very much.
We're just like, you're gonna switch those, Filippo. I like topinambar.
Topinambar?
How do we say it? Good. Anyone else? See, we have quite a few viewers. Redondo, Maria Pia. What's the strangest thing you've ever eaten? Join
Strange, weird food.
Yeah, strange, weird. I know people that like try like crickets, or they've tried like alligator.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I'm quite adventurous with food, although now I'm a vegetarian. But when I was a kid, I'd eat, obviously, as we know now,
Ants?
I would eat anything. Whereas my sister was extremely kind of conservative and worried about food, about trying new things. But I loved seafood and ants. Anything, interesting things. Yeah.
What do we call like your sister? Like she was very selective, right?
She was a fussy eater or a picky eater.
Yeah.
I don't know which one you would say, fussy or
I'd say
picky about your food. Picky. Like to pick something up, right? Is like to pick up the pen. If you're picky, you're looking at your plate and you're going, not that, not that. Yes, this. Yes, this. I really don't like it in other people, unless obviously if there's some kind of problem, like they have some a difficult relationship with food, then fine. But in general, picky eaters, no.
I'm better now. Yeah, I
didn't even know that. I'm sorry.
Very picky eater when I was younger. I still can be. Like I won't eat seafood. I don't like eggplant. I don't really like mushrooms. I can, if mushrooms are there, I'll deal with it. I had a very bad experience with eggplant, and my best friend can attest. She can.
Oh, wow,
tell
that sounds
me.
heavy. Well, I don't. The only thing nice about being with picky eaters is that I'm happy to finish people's
other food.
Food, yeah.
I have to tell you the story now of what happened though, because it's actually really funny.
Okay.
So she made my best friend. She likes to like mix things together, just kind of create her own dish by just throwing lots of food together. And she tried to do kind of like a curry, like almost like a Thai, like fried vegetables, like stir fried with
up my street. Yeah.
Yeah, and she did it with eggplant, and I ate it that night, and it was fine. But then she decided in the morning to use the leftovers and mix it with like eggs to create like a breakfast. And the leftover eggplant with the eggs just I didn't like the flavor, and it was like the eggplant that I really didn't like. So I ate a bite and I tried the eggplant and I gagged. We'll give that vocabulary to gag when you don't vomit, but you to gag. And apparently, I found out after, I used to have a really bad problem with gagging when I was a child. If I didn't like something, and it drove my mom crazy.
Okay.
But
so this was
this was as an adult. No, I
Yeah.
didn't know that I gagged. My mom told me this
Oh,
later
okay.
after this experience.
Yeah.
I completely forgot. But anyways, I gagged when I tried the eggplant, and then my friend was like, "Did you seriously just gag?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I think it was the eggplant." She's like, "No, I don't believe it. Try it again." And I
She
was
made
like,
you eat it.
she made me eat it
No,
again. And so
that's
I was
not
like,
nice.
"Please don't." And she was like,
No,
"Eat it
don't.
again." So I took another bite of the eggplant and I gagged again. And then she like was
Oh,
like, "Fine, okay, don't eat anymore." But I was so mad. It was so funny because she made me try it again. She was so like, "Did you really gag on my food?"
how horrible.
She was so
Well, I
offended.
don't think you should be forced to eat something if you're gagging. Definitely not.
She's very
Um,
proud. But
yeah.
it was very funny that I gagged again. And then later my mom told me, "Oh, you used to gag all the time if you ate something you didn't like."
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, that's what they mean. Even if you weren't aware of it, your body was probably like knew that that's what used to happen. Would make the reaction stronger,
yeah.
probably.
And I think that's why I'm so picky is like if I because it's also mental for me. Like if I think something is I'm not gonna like it, I won't
Yeah,
even try it because I probably will gag because it's like
yeah. A
mental.
block. To
Maybe
improve
just
your Italian, we say schizzinoso. Thank you.
yeah.
I actually wrote it down. There you go.
You know, so work on his Italian.
We're learning as well.
Yeah,
A restaurant review.
let's just get
Great.
started. Yeah. So we've got today reviewing restaurants, recommendation phrases. We're going to probably skip hard versus hardly, but we'll see. And restaurant review vocabulary.
I love restaurant reviews.
This is
I
totally up
love
your
them.
alley.
Yeah.
But
Shall
you
I read?
prefer film reviews, if I remember right.
Yeah, but okay. Let me read the questions, guys. If you,
Okay.
because there's a particular restaurant reviewer in the UK who is great. But we have here some questions. So in the comments, let us know. Number one, do you eat out often? Number two, do you remember an experience that was unusually good or bad? Have you ever read or written a restaurant review? And do you think they are helpful or not, and why? So are restaurant reviews helpful or not? Yeah, in the UK, there's a guy called Jay Rayner.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty famous. He's a bit of an idiot. The thing about restaurant reviewing, I think, is that it's obviously an incredibly like luxurious, kind of indulgent. Yeah,
Job.
what a life! What a life! What a job! Yeah, you just go
Yeah.
from restaurant to
Eat
restaurant
food.
and eat food. But he's kind of aware of it, but at the same time, he's sometimes a bit of a snob. Anyway, he writes for The Observer. Every Sunday, he writes a review, and they're just amazing. His writing is great, and they're often extremely entertaining. Because if he's angry about a place and he writes a negative review, usually about a place that's very la-di-da and fancy and thinks it's brilliant, right? And he's taking it down. They're just hilarious to read as like criticism.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he'll write a really beautiful review of a smaller place that doesn't often get recognition, but he thinks deserves to be mentioned.
Yeah.
And he's just a really good writer, and they're often really funny. The style of the writing, prose guys, is kind of very very well thought out and elaborate and fancy. I love.
I don't
Yeah,
think
I said it.
I've never heard of him, but I don't live here.
He's only in the UK, I guess.
Yeah. But we've got an answer to the first one. Filippo said, I often eat out for work. Okay.
Yeah. Lunch, I guess. A working lunch.
Yeah. Do you often eat out?
Yeah, I do, usually.
I don't.
5 times a week.
5 times a week?
But in this, we are including like a sandwich for lunch. Or do you mean like eating out at a restaurant?
I mean, like, yeah.
You mean sitting in a restaurant?
Yeah, I would probably think sitting in a restaurant.
In that case, very, very rarely. Maybe now in Bologna, I don't know that many people. So once a fortnight when people come visit or something.
What's a fortnight, Hal?
Yeah, but that's still a lot.
Do you use fortnight a
I
lot?
use it all the time. Yeah.
What does it
Oh,
mean?
it means every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Sorry, I just realized I said it yesterday, and Monique was like, "What on earth is a fortnight?" Exactly, every
Very
2 weeks.
British.
Yeah, once a fortnight, once every 2 weeks.
Okay. Luigi.
Okay.
Oh, me or you?
I'm
Okay.
looking up where etymology of fortnight.
Okay. I did not eat out often in the no COVID world, maybe once a week and not every week, but I will do it every day when it will be possible to go out again. Okay. So I didn't eat out very often, or I didn't often eat out. Okay, we're gonna switch those. I didn't often eat out in the no COVID world. So before COVID, maybe once a week, not every week.
No COVID world.
Yeah.
Maybe the pre-COVID world. That's a nice suffix.
Mm-hmm.
Post. Pre-COVID world, post-COVID world.
Yeah, or
That we are now in.
before COVID. But just careful with often. I didn't often eat out. We're going to change the position of that. Everything else sounds good, but I will do it every day when it will be possible to do
That's
that again.
funny. I have a long list of places that I want to go to as
Yeah.
soon as this is over.
I mean, I've been ordering pizza a lot, but Fortnite. Tell us about Fortnite.
I haven't yet. Fortnite is very simple. 14 nights.
Ah,
14 nights, fortnight.
okay.
There we go.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
quite cute.
Do you want
Kiara,
me to-
usually I don't eat out. Perfect. Usually I don't eat out. I prefer to order, or I prefer ordering, one or the other. I prefer to order food and eat at home. I usually eat out when I'm on holiday instead. Yes, exactly. Holidays. That's what you do.
Yeah. When I'm on holiday, I eat out, but maybe similar to you, once a fortnight, I eat out at a restaurant. Tatiana, before the confinement, I ate out very often because I can't cook anymore since I had an accident with my wrist. My operation was postponed. No. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, Tanya. You can say, yeah, my operation or my surgery, both are fine.
Yeah, both are fine.
Hope
Just
it comes
careful with
Yeah.
before the confinement, not I've eaten out. Before is in the past, the confinement. So I ate out very often. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry about your
Sorry to
wrist.
hear that. I hope it heals.
Yeah. I hope you have your surgery soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it was postponed because of coronavirus,
Yeah.
the quarantine.
And guys, what about restaurant reviews? Are there any? I don't know about Italy. Are there famous Italian restaurant reviewers? I would imagine there are,
I would think
given
so.
how serious you guys are about your food. I know that in the UK, there aren't that many anymore, just because journalism in general is suffering. Like, not many newspapers, especially like local papers, can afford to keep someone to go to restaurants and eat.
Yeah.
But we have bloggers instead and things like that. And in America, I don't know. I've read some reviews of like New York restaurants before, because in New York there's quite a big culture of restaurant reviewing.
Yeah.
Some of them are very funny
The
as
whole
well.
food scene is really big in New York.
Huge. In Italy, I don't know, but I'm guessing. In fact, I don't know why I've never checked in like La Repubblica. Is there a section where they review restaurants?
I don't know. You're better than me. I don't even read newspapers or know. I think I've heard of La Repubblica, but that's like the only newspaper I recognize, maybe a title too.
I look at it and then I look at the Guardian instead, because I'm lazy. And do you think they're helpful or not? Kendra, how do you read reviews ever before choosing to go somewhere?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like if I'm in a new city, I might look at like trying to think, what's the one? Foursquare. I use more like apps or websites, and I read the reviews from other people.
Yeah.
But I feel like no matter what, when you read the reviews, there's always people who have a negative opinion and people who have a positive opinion.
Sure.
It's sometimes hard to find a place where everyone likes it.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially
yeah,
if it's become famous enough or big enough,
for those
then
websites.
it's just inevitable, like you said, that
Yeah,
there will be positive comments and negative comments.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do like to look at menus. Normally that will kind of be what helps me make up my mind is the menu, what's on the menu. And I love places that like have small menus, but like everything on the menu is good.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's what
Absolutely.
we say a small menu is a good sign, no?
Mm-hmm.
You
But
don't want to, unless, okay, there's a pub chain in the UK called Wetherspoons, which has the biggest menu you have ever seen in your life, and everything is so cheap, and that's an exception. And the food is terrible, but great. Wetherspoons, yeah. The
okay.
Wetherspoons menu is a thing of beauty. It's unbelievable. But usually, in general, short menu is a good sign.
Yeah. I think instead of looking at reviews, I like to just hear people's personal recommendations. If someone
Yeah,
tells me, oh, you should go to this restaurant, I take that more seriously than a review.
yes, good point. A recommendation instead of a review. I usually like to see some restaurant reviews before choosing a good place to eat out. Nice.
Good.
Me too.
Hello,
Hey.
Francesca. Nice to see you. I'm one of your students in Bologna Mille. Miss you all, guys. Yes. Hi, Francesca. Don't worry if you're late. Making
You're cooking
lunch.
right now.
Yeah.
Appropriate.
How nice. You're making lunch and you're watching
What's the
your English
menu? What's the
webinar.
menu?
Yeah, what's on the menu today for lunch, Francesca?
At Francesca's place.
Yeah. What about we skipped number 2, Hal? Do you remember like a really bad
Oh,
or really good experience?
no, I've never had like really bad, like kind of memorably, as we would say, memorably bad, like so bad that I remember it, memorably bad. And I've had some really nice experiences, like especially in Manchester. I really miss these places so much because there just aren't similar things in Bologna at least. But in Manchester, there were so many very small, what we call curry houses, which is just little Indian restaurants, like family run, and there were loads of them, and they were so cheap. The food was always just great,
Perfect.
and you could just go in kind of casually because it wasn't expensive or ever busy or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, just decide to go one evening, and I really like that. Obviously, there are Indian restaurants in Bologna, but not many, and they're
Yeah. I've heard there's one in
not quite the
particular
same
I've heard
thing.
good things about. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
There
you
are
need to tell me.
more restaurants for sure.
Yeah.
You have to remember because there's 2 with the same name, but there's one that's better. And I've heard it's better in the restaurant. I've always ordered from it and I wasn't that impressed. But someone told me, no,
Go.
for
Yeah.
some reason their takeout is terrible, but in the restaurant, it's wonderful. So
Interesting.
I have to try it. Filippo said, when I try a new restaurant, I usually check the reviews about it before, but I've written just one review on a friend request to write about my experience in his restaurant.
Okay.
Okay.
I've written just one review we could say on a request, right? On a friend's, that's the request of the friend to write about my experience. But it might be clearer just to say, because a friend requested that I write about my experience.
Yeah.
But lovely, really good, really
Okay.
interesting. Did he pay you? No, I'm joking.
Did he pay you?
Was he like, Filippo, I will give you 50 euros if you give me a nice review? Because I always wonder that as well on like TripAdvisor or Google. You never really know who these people are.
True.
You have to watch out.
Yep. Really do.
Kiara, when I need to look for a restaurant, I always read the reviews on TripAdvisor. Okay, they're not always exact, but they're useful.
Yeah.
They give you a sense, we might say, a sense, a feel.
Yeah. And Kiara also added, I've sometimes written reviews too when the food wasn't so nice or the service was bad or when always was perfect or when everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. Okay, good.
Luigi, my last experience before quarantine was one of the worst experiences. I ate something that looked like sushi, but was terrible. Mm-hmm.
You know, okay, I'm thinking of a bad experience, but it wasn't my experience. It was Lisa's experience. I don't know if you
Okay,
heard about this, but she had ordered some food. I'm not going to say the restaurant. I don't want to like slander them, but there was a worm in the food. Yep.
Oh my goodness. Like a ground
There
worm,
was like a little, no, it was like
a kind of maggot thing.
smaller. It was kind of more like a maggot worm, not a worm. But there was definitely a worm in her food, an insect. Oh, terrible.
Slander them. Did she tell them? Did she call them?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
Yes.
What did they do?
I think they gave them a
Like,
refund.
don't worry, we'll send you lots of worms.
Yeah, we'll send you more worms. I think they got a refund, and she was like, "I'm not ordering there again." I don't know if I would ever order there again after seeing that. But yeah.
I wrote my last review for the. I think we would say I wrote my last review on that occasion.
Mm-hmm.
For the occasion, but that sounds like for the occasion is like you dress up for the occasion, like you dress up for the wedding.
The
Anyway,
event. Yeah.
you better have something in the fridge at home.
Wait, was that the? Oh,
That's
that was for the thing that looked like sushi but was terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terrible. And then it's better to just get something from the fridge. Nice.
That's terrible. Oh, and Francesca's making pasta with a zucchini and bacon sauce. We're gonna put that at the end. That sounds good. I want some.
Lovely.
Ooh, I could make a zucchini pasta, but I don't have bacon. I'll still make a zucchini. I have a lot of zucchini. I need to eat it. Okay.
It was a very good experience. So I was fair. Lovely use
of
that nice adjective, fair. We want a fair review. We want it to be balanced.
Balanced. Just equal. Good. Tatiana, sometimes I call a friend who has the best list of gastronomical recommendations in Lyon. Okay.
Wow. Nice.
I definitely know certain people that I trust more for their recommendations than others. Yeah. I like to ask my Italian friends who are from Bologna. They've been here their whole life. Yeah. It's very important. Yeah. They know all the secrets. Okay. Let's look. Do we want? Yeah, we're doing this one.
This one, yes.
So tell us, you guys, in the comments, what are some qualities you look for in a good restaurant?
Give us some. So we already have some ideas, right?
Yeah, we do. I know you and I talked about a good menu.
Yes. For example, we spoke about the menu. What other things do you guys look for in a great restaurant?
And we'll read some old comments too.
I eat out often for lunch when I work at the Academy of Fine Art, but just sandwiches.
Okay.
Me too.
Now I remember what Francesca this is. I had to. So there's so many Francescas. Sometimes it's difficult to remember, but I remember because she works at the Academy of Fine Arts. And then Luigi said, I think the reviews were very helpful at the outset. I'm not sure what you mean. Do you and
the rest? Because I think it just means right at the beginning, at the start.
Oh, okay. Now I think it's a bad way to choose a restaurant. The companies can buy reviews and go up in the rankings. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. At the I don't know if I would use outset. I would say outset. Just at the start.
The outset is more like if we're talking about a journey or a project or something. Whereas here you're just talking about, I think, basically at the start of the internet, right? A while ago, when reviews online first started happening. So I think the reviews were very helpful at the start. Whereas outset is like when we kind of are beginning something and there's like maybe a project and it has an objective and we're starting off the outset. Different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I asked if they paid you. I can't Filippo, maybe for your friend.
Yeah, I think it was Filippo who wrote it for his friend. Then what Francesca also said, when I'm in a different country or city and I have to find a restaurant, I usually read reviews. Yeah, me too. Me too. And
But
we're already
sometimes it
getting
can be
some.
quite overwhelming. That's the problem.
It can be. Because like what
Anything.
you said, it's like, what do you trust? What do you believe? There's like so many good reviews and then there's so many bad reviews. There's like such a mix.
That's why it's nice. That's why reviewers who are still published in like a newspaper, I feel like that's quite helpful because you can kind of trust them maybe more.
Yeah. Like they're really being paid to do what they do.
Yeah, yeah.
And we got some ideas from Tatiana.
Location, menu, atmosphere, service. Lovely. Great list. Excellent list.
Luigi added some more. I look for the quality of food, cleanliness, kindness of servers, and if possible, a good trade-off between quality and cost. Yeah, the value, good value.
Lovely. A good trade-off between, so like a balance between the two things.
Quality and cost, yeah. What did we just say? Value for money, right?
Yeah, nice. Value for money.
Good value for money. Different way to say that. Okay.
In my opinion, service, quality, and quantity of food. Yes, I agree so much. And sometimes, especially in Manchester, there were some places I knew. I used to live in Manchester, guys, that had amazing value for money because the quantity of food, which we call, anyone know? I'll just say it, portion.
Portion. I was like,
Portion, right? Anyway, quantity of food, price, wine, or what I look for in a restaurant. Nice. Yeah, a portion is the size, a quantity of food. So if you have a big portion, like at McDonald's,
United States.
small, medium, large, extra, extra large. The size of it is the size of the portion.
Yeah. In the US, we have very large portions.
Famously.
Very large portions.
Infamously. Yeah.
Infamously. Exactly. She also said we missed wine. Price and wine. I love it. What? Filippo, the creativity of the menu, atmosphere, location, and the hygiene. Yeah, the cleanliness. Wait,
I look for quality, clean, service, and also quantity. Nice. Okay, let's use that nice noun. Somebody said it. I can't remember who it was. Luigi. Cleanliness is the noun. It's quite a difficult one. Cleanliness, the cleanliness of a place, how clean it is. Noun.
Here we go. We'll post it. Oh, I'm getting behind. Then Maria Pia said, in my opinion, I look for service, menu, courtesy. Ooh, wonderful. Courtesy. That's like how kind they are, how nice the waiters, the people working. Yeah, courtesy and helpfulness. Wonderful. And value for
money. Also maybe a restaurant engagement. Organic products, for example. Okay, nice. Organic products, good. Engagement, like where they source their ingredients from, Tatiana. Is that what you mean?
I think of what other word it could be. Maybe also maybe a restaurant engagement.
So if it's to do with the ingredients, we might talk about the source. I'm not sure what you mean, Tatiana.
Maybe she does mean ingredients instead of engagement.
Or ingredients, if the ingredients are organic, if the ingredients are organically sourced.
She added later politic.
So like the restaurant, I guess maybe it should be like ecological, it should be responsible, it should be ethical, the ethics of a business, maybe. Let us know.
Yeah. Then Francesca, at first, I look at the menu. If in the reviews there are pictures of dishes, it's always better. I agree. And then second, I look at prices. Okay.
I disagree. Picture. Oh, in reviews, yes. On the menu, no pictures. That's a bad sign.
Yeah, if there's pictures on the menu, that's a bad sign. But in the
menu,
review,
stay away. In review, yeah.
Luigi has a question. What's the word for advice from someone?
Okay, it depends. We can say, let's go from the top. We can say a piece of advice, if you want to count it, a piece of advice, because in English it's uncountable. So they gave me some advice, or they gave me a piece of advice. If someone recommends something, so they went, and then they say to you, hey, you would like this, because they went, a recommendation. Or if it's like a smaller piece of advice that's like, think about this, or suggestion, yeah, like nothing big, but just a suggestion, something to think about. A piece of advice, recommendation, suggestion.
Yeah, but advice is a noun.
Yeah.
Or do you want the
so we can't say advice and advice? We have to say a piece.
And the verb we would normally use is like to give advice or to add. I wouldn't say advise.
Like formal, yeah. We don't usually use it in this kind of context. To give advice, give advice better than
to give a recommendation, to give a suggestion. But recommendation and suggestion are also verbs: to recommend, to suggest.
And in this context, with like a restaurant, we would usually, I think, be talking about a recommendation, because if you're recommending it, it's because you went, you enjoyed it, and then you're telling someone else based on your experience, you're saying, I think you would like this. You're recommending it is the best fit.
Exactly.
I wouldn't give someone advice about what restaurant to go to. It sounds strange, right? I would recommend a restaurant to them. Yeah.
And I think Tatiana said yes to you saying they're ethical and.
Okay, right. Yes. They're ethical.
Using
environmental kind of vibe.
Yeah. And Filippo, interesting. You look for a vegetarian or vegan menu.
Me too. I'm vegetarian. I don't know why I didn't say that. It's important, no?
Yeah.
I have to check that they have something that I can eat.
Should we look at a list? Let's see what.
Yeah.
Here are some possibilities.
Yeah, lovely.
Okay. So we have great food, excellent service, a nice ambiance, which is the ambiance. Is more of the atmosphere. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful decor, cleanliness, good location, and good value for money. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Oh, he meant passaparola. Someone tells me it's good, and after I tell another person it's good. I would say either through the grapevine or word of mouth.
Word of mouth, exactly. Word of mouth. It's such a strange expression. It doesn't really. So you're telling people about it, and it travels around. Oh, this place is really good. Oh, you should go here. It travels by word of mouth. Word of mouth.
Like personal recommendation you're hearing from other people. And Tatiana asked tips. Is that advice as well? Yeah, a tip is like a piece of advice.
Usually a very small thing, like oh, have you tried this? Nothing life-changing. Maybe it could be a life-changing tip, but usually it's small little things to make your life easier.
Also careful, because tip also means the like extra money you give someone for the service.
Not usually in Italy, no, but
no, you guys don't tip.
America. Yes.
Very important to tip.
Filippo, ambience. No, atmosphere is pretty much a synonym. I think there's a slight difference. When I talk about the ambience, I'm thinking about the kind of
feel in the restaurant.
The lighting, the music, the furniture. Yeah. Whereas atmosphere includes ambience and maybe other things like how my own feelings or other people's feelings or the service. It includes lots of things, but generally it's a synonym, really. The ambience, the atmosphere. Yeah. And we're all good with decor, hopefully. The decoration. Decor.
Tatiana's probably like, these American or these English speakers stealing the French words. Ambiance, decor. We
Well,
like
for restaurants,
to feel,
obviously we have to use French words for food.
yeah, French is a big one. Be careful though. There's a big there's a what do I want to say? Not
Controversy.
competition, controversy. When you have like two enemies.
Oh, yeah, rivalry.
There's a rivalry between French and Italians.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as I said that, I was like, oh no, we're talking
Careful.
direct to Italians.
Don't
But
offend the Italians.
French cuisine is pretty important, though. It's true.
But excuse me, Tatiana, I do prefer Italian food over French food. That's my personal opinion. But I love France. I do love France. I do love the country.
Me too.
Yeah. And I also love Italy because I live here. But I was surprised. I went to, I've only been to Paris. I'd like to go to other cities. But I was very surprised that I liked Paris. I was nervous because I'm American. Yeah. And there's all these stereotypes, these rumors that the French don't like Americans. But everyone was so friendly to me. They were so nice.
The stereotype is that Parisians are, and she prefers Italian cuisine. Cool, Tatiana. So we're clear. We're out of the frying pan. There's a stereotype of Parisians being really unfriendly as well, which on the few occasions I've been there, I've noticed a bit, but not unfriendly, just maybe reserved.
Okay, yeah. I also have a theory that whenever I've gone to other European countries, this is my theory. People always speak to me in that country's language. So I think that I don't look American. I think this is what I'm gathering. This is what I'm deciding since living in Europe. I think I look more European, and I can kind of look maybe Italian. I can maybe look French. I can maybe look German. And so they don't think I'm American.
Interesting.
Because in France, people would speak to me in French.
But maybe that's just because of your manner and your way of, I mean, maybe your appearance probably comes into it, but probably more the way you dress and the way you hold yourself, as we say, guys. Hold yourself in a certain way.
A lot of my Italian friends have told me that. They're like, you don't look American.
I think you look quite American. But I don't really know what I mean.
You know me as an American.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that's lucky. What, and then
I'll take it. Like, I'm okay with that. I don't want to look American.
I don't even know what the American look is. Anyone know?
I don't know, but I've been told that I look more European than American, which I am very happy. If that's what people say, I will take that compliment. Because I don't want to look American.
I love that expression, to take it as a compliment. To take it as a compliment. Someone says something and you're like, this could be a nice compliment. They could be saying something good. It could not be, but I'm going to take it as a compliment.
It is a compliment.
Because I love myself, and why not? Take it as a compliment.
And for me now, like hearing people tell me that I look European, and the fact that people, when I go to European countries, they just automatically speak to me in their language. I'm starting to wonder, am I like, because I am a mix, like my background is I have a lot of British. Okay, I have a lot of British, but I'm also Irish and Scottish and German and Greek. So there's a mix of European countries in my family's history.
Wow, there we go.
But I'm a lot of American. Anyways, we have 1 more minute, guys. So don't forget, there's another webinar in another 10 minutes, another 8 to 10 webinar. If you have any English questions, you can ask on the Myes SOS English Facebook page. It's such a long title. Other than that, have a good lunch. Oh, Hal disappeared. And we'll see you guys later. Something happened to Hal. So signing off. Goodbye. See you later.